Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me as always over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. Everybody calls him the Truth Box on the World Wide Web because he loves to speak the truth all day, every day. My man, what is going on tonight?
Big week. A lot of action. I'm excited. Had a week off. Feeling good. A lot to talk about. So let's try to keep it tight tonight, all right?
I love it. Great
Tight.
Words of wisdom.
Tight tonight, all right?
Tight tonight, baby. All right. So when we last recorded, me and the Juice Box, we were all fired up about some playoff hockey. The Bruins, as usual, were willing to play their role of Charlie Brown, while the Florida Panthers happily played the role of Lucy, pulling that football away at the last minute. Now, it's that little glimmer of hope that continues to bring you back to sports as a sports fan, even if more often than not, it ends in disappointment every season. Now, I've been a sports fan since such a young age that I couldn't even tell you when it all started. That's how long I've been into sports. Me and Juice, we were skating, playing hockey since basically the time we could walk. Now, the old cliche when it comes to sports is politics, race, religion. They won't disrupt a locker room because the only thing that matters inside a locker room is winning. That's why the fact that the media and the radical left are still trying to make this Harrison Butker story a thing, that's why that's so annoying to me. This is also another example of why the Kansas City Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champs. I thought Andy Reid had a great response to it when he said a little something like this. Juice?
On staff here in the building, his comments kind of touched on women in the workforce. What do you tell them if they come to you with a concern about players speaking ill of, women in general?
Yeah, that hasn't happened. I don't think he was speaking ill to women, but he has his opinions, and we all respect that. I let you guys in this room, and you have a lot of opinions that I don't like.
When a player says something that can be deemed controversial, even though some people supported it, some people didn't, how do you help that not become a distraction for this team with as much attention that's on Harrison's comments right now?
The guys are good with that. They understand. They understand how things work. Everybody's got their own opinion. And that's what's so great about this country. You can share those things, and you work through it. And that's what guys do.
Now, he just swatted away that foolish reporter like it was nothing. That person really framed their question by asking Reid if female employees of the Chiefs should feel uncomfortable after what Buckner said. Like, what a joke. This is important because it shows us the power of the media and the left, who, are one and the same when it comes to gaslighting the American public. Why has promoting a Catholic lifestyle to a Catholic audience by a Catholic man caused 2 weeks worth of news coverage here? Why is the left hell-bent on removing God from public life? Actions speak louder than words, and the left's biggest actions and motivation over the last 50-plus years has been the destruction of the nuclear family and the removal of God from public life. How's that working out for our country these days? This story is the perfect example of how the media controls the public narrative and how they shape our culture. It happens in the political coverage, and it's the one thing that your well-meaning leftist friends and family members are a little too blind to see. When a guy like Butker says what he said and the media pounces and pressures everyone that's ever said boo to the man to comment on it, that's the power of the media. When someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene says something kooky, the progressives pounce and force every Republican to comment on it. And guess what ends up getting played over and over and over on CNN, MSNBC, all of your local news channels? Coverage of the Republican saying something strange, or of the Catholic man spreading a Catholic message. And it's framed in a negative light on all those channels. But when an athlete beats his girlfriend, has multiple kids with multiple women, promotes Black Lives Matter or gay rights, not a single critical question is asked of his teammates about his stance. When one of the jackass members of the squad says something anti-Semitic, not a single Democrat is forced to answer any tough questions about it. Not from the media, not from your friends and family members. It just makes it, sweeps under the rug, back page of the newspaper. Or, matter of fact, it becomes a Republicans pounce story. I've said it once and I'll say it again. But once you notice this stuff, once you see this stuff, it really becomes hard to unsee it. And I hope everybody out there is seeing what's happening with this Harrison Butker story. And I hope it's helped you realize what me and Juice have known for a long time now. And with that being said, let's welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because guess what? It is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime!
I was off screen for a while there. I couldn't. My voice got like a little
clamming up,
verklempt.
There you go. That
Talk
one's over my
yourself.
head, buddy.
I remember. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh,
The church
yeah,
lady.
yeah.
I'm getting verklempt.
No,
Oh.
I don't, but I like that.
I think like most of the audience will know that's a word for kind of like
Okay.
punched. You can't.
I
talk.
thought you were saying
No,
like when I have to leave screen for a minute and you're stuck in charge. Oh, talk amongst yourself out there in the audience for a minute.
Yeah, but you know that though, the church lady from Saturday Night Live.
That's awesome. Dana Carvey?
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. I mean,
But I just want
used to-
that was great. You kept saying Butker though. I think it's Butkus.
Oh, don't start again with that. Can you believe
You're
that?
saying
Honestly,
Butker.
just to finish up the that whole thing there, but can you believe that that's still going on 2 weeks later? Like crazy, right?
It's insane.
I can't believe it. And
what about that? Like, you know, I thought we were over the commencement stuff, but we never brought this one up. But remember, Biden did one, and he's like, "They're hunting you down in the streets." Like,
at the all black college.
Yeah. Like, talk about
ridiculous.
being divisive.
I know.
Not true. Like, even statistically.
Yep. 100%. Crazy. All right. Well, we got a lot to get to today. We kind of it's. I feel like, you know, maybe we did this by design without realizing it, but we were going to kind of touch on the Trump trial a little bit to start the show today, and we haven't really covered it at all because one, like a lot of that stuff is a little over my head when you get it. I can't break it down.
Even all the hosts, they all pull in illegal. Nobody knows.
Yeah. So it's like, and to be honest with you, it felt like a waste of time for me because what happened today, obviously you probably all know this now, but he was found guilty on all 34 charges, felony charges. And we kind of just saw this coming the whole way, and it didn't really feel worth spending a ton of time on it because the trial was a joke from the start. It continues to be a joke. And I don't think this is really going to affect anybody's opinion, maybe a small fraction of people, but this is like, talk about the deck being stacked against you and the people in power, the people controlling everything, completely going after their political opponent with a political witch hunt, which is what happened here. So, you know,
that Bragg got elected, like by saying, "I'm going to go after."
Exactly. That's literally
like, "Yeah, I'm going to be tough on crime and prosecute the right cases." And
yeah.
And he said,
and it's like again, I can't. I'm not eloquent enough or smart enough to be able to kind of break it down in layman's terms. But at the end of the day, take this away from it, the very, basic understanding that these charges were from alleged allegations from 2016 and 17. We're now in the year 2024. And it was federal crimes that they're trying to accuse him of in the state of New York, which all of that is kind of crazy. And then the entire case rests on the fact that they have to prove that his payments that they called the hush money, that payment was payment that he willingly knew was to hide and deceive from another crime that he was trying to commit. And the prosecution never told anybody what that other crime is. They never presented an argument for what the other crime is. So it just feels complete bush league. Like, how can you accuse somebody of a crime that you're not willing to explain and to state? It had nothing to do, the hush money aspect of it is not what the case was riding on. And that's what most, people that barely pay attention or, watch their local news for a few minutes, that's what they're going to think it was about. And it wasn't. So that's about as much as I could go into that. Juice, do you have any other ways to make that make sense?
I think people knew that. I think you could have just maybe didn't need it.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I thought we knew that one, but no, I guess you're saying the average person, just like, oh, he's convicted. Okay, yeah.
I mean, come on.
I'd say, okay, if somebody stumbles upon this episode, then yes, it's needed. I think most people that tune in kind of know that.
You're giving our audience that much credit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Good for you. No wonder why they like you better. All right, well, let's just go to Trump's reaction. You got that, right, Juice? This was moments ago before we recorded outside the courtroom.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble, but this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Are you going to drop out?
A+ for what he said. Like, I agree with him 100%.
A little low energy.
Little more low energy.
I know, but maybe that's that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you're in the court.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's got to be a little demoralizing.
Not a rally. That wasn't a rally thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rally, Trump.
Absolutely. And yeah, that thing's great. And very well done, even commenting on it, but still staying on message for the election when he talks about the millions of people pouring in. That didn't really have anything to do with the case. But that was perfect to mix that in, because that's the message. He has to continue to deliver that.
Horrible, disgraceful, rigged trial.
Yeah, we're in a rigged country.
He goes, I'm a very innocent man.
Yeah.
Not just like innocent.
Very, the most innocent, brilliantly innocent. There's never been a more.
But no, it was great. And like, it's crazy that the gag order stuff is mind-boggling.
It's crazy. And again, like I can't tell you how that broke down because I haven't really looked too much into it since it's been announced. But remember, like the judge even instructed the jury that they didn't have to unanimously decide on all 34 counts. So I don't know how it ended up breaking down. Maybe you did before we jumped
all 34, on. They said.
For like everything, but I don't know if it was unanimous for the like he said, like there was something that came out where like, you know, if 5 of them all agreed that counts 1, 2, and 3 he was guilty of, like they could rule him guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to be all 12, like, which is, I don't know. I find that I thought that was the whole point of a jury. It had to be,
and each one was different, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Again, I can't explain it properly. So we'll all be
trying.
Yeah, we'll put it in the comments. But we'll all be hearing and reading and following this going forward here. So
I think it's
something to pay attention to. But how about the fact that you mentioned it already? Trump was on a gag order throughout this whole trial. He couldn't come out and comment. He couldn't say anything about it. And people were showing up outside the courtroom to defend him. There were people, on his side. And Biden couldn't help but feel like he was left out. So the Biden administration sends washed up has-been Robert De Niro in a Fauci mask on the streets of New York to go out there and comment about the trial that's going on. Remember, Biden is the president right now who is in control of the Department of Justice. This guy does not want to affect the outcomes of an election. He doesn't want to not an election, I'm sorry, of a trial. He doesn't want to he shouldn't influence a trial. That's what he said in the past about Trump, and that's why he supports a gag order for him and stuff. Yet this guy is going to send somebody representing his campaign, jackass Robert De Niro, coming out there, literally showed up with a mask on outside and then made some comments to the crowd. Juice, you got the first De Niro clip for us?
Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth. I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave. What does that mean? Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life? And that's why I've joined the Biden-Harris campaign, because the only way to preserve our freedoms and hold on to our humanity is to vote for Joe Biden for president. Really. We don't have a choice.
Really?
Don't have a choice, really.
Oh,
I'm surprised you didn't say, come on, man.
That was so bad. Like him reading off that thing, like can't come any more professional about it,
right?
Like,
isn't this guy? And again, I don't want to mitigate what he did in the past, because honestly, like Goodfellas, it's my favorite movie of all time. I think he was awesome in it. But this guy's an actor by profession his entire life. He couldn't learn that script. He couldn't memorize those lines before going out and delivering them. I mean, you talking to me? Me?
Don't push it, fucker.
It's so true, though. Like, how does he come out here? I've been doing this, what, Juice? On camera? We've been doing it for what? Maybe less than a year? 10 months? In my clunky reading off the screen monologues are delivered better than this guy just delivered a little, 5-minute speech on the street.
Dude, he sound like a fourth grader doing their first oral book report.
Yes.
Like when you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pause.
Supposed to memorize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean to scare you. Or do I mean to scare you? Whatever he said.
He didn't even do that hesitation properly. Like,
I don't mean to scare you. Like they forgot the comma. Oh, right?
Yeah.
Or do I mean to scare you?
Oh, wait. I do mean to scare. Like it was so rehearsed.
Yeah, like
it was
kids
horrible.
that blast through periods when they're reading.
Yeah. Yep.
Or he like overpaused or something.
Oh, it was brutal. Very poorly delivered, De Niro. Sorry. All right. What else does he get? Something about talking about.
Are you a pothead?
You
want to give us that one?
What, the second one?
Yeah.
This is my neighborhood, downtown New York City. I grew up here and feel at home in these streets. I feel comfortable. I owe this city a lot. And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city. I don't know where he belongs, but he certainly doesn't belong here. We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot, a two-bit playboy lying his way into the tabloids, pretending to be a spokesperson for himself. He was calling it as himself for himself, to fool the press into inflating his net worth.
So bad.
Didn't do anything.
It's so bad.
Conflating.
And who cares about that? Like, I don't care if he's trying to get into the Playboy Mansion or something. Like, I think that's funny. That's like.
But how about even that? He's calling him a two-bit playboy wannabe tough guy. You've made a living off of trying to pretend to be a tough guy in movies.
The same role every time.
Yeah, same role every time. And you just fathered a child at, 90 years old, however old he is. Playboy. Come on, man.
That's crazy.
What a joke. My city. This guy doesn't belong in my city. Okay, De Niro. Let's see how welcome you are in your city. You got some stuff of how the crowd received him, Juice?
Yeah. Didn't like him.
Democrats, you are gangsters. You are gangsters. You're washed up. Fuck you.
You're a little punk. You're a softy. You're a nobody. Your movies suck. You're trash. You're trash. You're done. You're done after this guy, guys. You're done.
Incredible. It's the biggest crowd De Niro's drawn in about 20 years at this point. They have a tough time filling up a theater. He's got them all out on the street now, but it's because he's poking the bear. He's effing around and finding out. He thinks it's his bread and butter. He's lived in his little Hollywood bubble for so long that his ass is kissed and he's comfortable in any room he's ever entered, again, for the majority of his life now. This situation he's put out on the street facing real people, and that's what happens to him. I love it. And he didn't know what to do. F you. Okay then, buddy. F you. Like, my city. Oh, I can't get over that. I think when he was trying to talk back to that dude, he was having flashbacks.
There's an extended clip too, though, right? Yeah, sorry.
What's that?
No, like of him doing some of the.
Oh yeah.
Do some of the razzing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's awesome. I think when he was trying to yell back at that guy, he was having flashbacks of his role in the Untouchables, where he played Al Capone, and I think he was trying to summons a little bit of that. So, Juice, maybe we can remind the crowd what that looked like.
Never stop fighting till the fight is done.
What do you say? What do you say?
I said never stop fighting till the fight is done.
What?
You heard me, Capone. It's over.
Get out of here. You're nothing but a lot of talking a bitch.
Here ended the lesson.
You're a lot of talking a bitch. You're nothing but a lot of talking a bitch. You're still nothing but a lot of talking a bitch. You're nothing but a lot of talking a bitch.
You're nothing but a lot of talking a bitch. Hold me back. Hold me back. That's what he's saying to the cops that were walking him away from there with the crowd. Oh, crazy. The guy's such a joke. But again, like given the circumstances of what we now know about the verdict from this trial, like people should be appalled that the Biden, as De Niro had to say, the Biden-Harris administration sent him there to make those comments. That's effed up, people. At least for the most part, they try to pretend like they're not involved with it. Like it's not like they're happy it's going on, obviously, but they try to remove themselves a little bit from it. You know, plausible deniability. This jackass is out there saying, I'm here representing the Biden-Harris administration, and this guy is a joke and pathetic. The world is going to end if Donald Trump and
Dude, he was saying in that first clip, like, do you
6th
think he will never let go of power? Never. You think you like these freedoms? Like, you're saying all these things like they're automatically happening.
Great. Never let go of power because he let go of power when he lost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Or when it was stolen from him 4 years ago. But look,
Dude,
come on.
you're all glitched up on my screen. I don't know if that's on yours.
Oh, I'm not glitched where
All
I
right.
am right
No,
now.
just run
I'm
with it.
okay. I can see it. Maybe I hope I don't glitch out on the audience.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care if I can see it, but
Well, they like you better anyways, like you said. So, all right. You got anything else to add to this De Niro nonsense out there?
no, just in the Trump thing in general, like the one, well, like a corrupt country, right? I don't have
100%.
faith in the justice system, and like main point of all, like you see all these people who are like so happy that this has happened. Like, dude, kind of jokes on you. Like, okay, you got one person, but at the expense of like, you know, this is
The
bad.
legitimacy of our country.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
You know what I
horrible.
mean? Like, oh, we got that one guy, but okay,
Yeah.
the whole system's corrupt.
Well, and honestly, like I've been trying to think honestly to myself and ask myself, you know, no showmanship involved at all, just personally, like, you know, what if like reverse the roles? Wouldn't I be pumped if Joe Biden was getting arrested, not elected? If Joe Biden was getting arrested for, you know, corruption, something like that. And I think, yes, I would. And I felt bad about that. But I also am like, wait a minute, though. If this guy got arrested, it would be legitimate. He's legitimate.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff you can pick from.
Yeah, like he peddled American influence overseas to enrich himself and his family. Like he's literally corrupt. But even knowing that and understanding that, I still don't think it would be a good thing if, you know, Trump beats him and then throws his ass in jail afterwards. It's a terrible precedent to set.
Unless we do just like we're doing a 1-in-1. And then
that's it. And then it goes back, reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Because that's the only way it will survive. Otherwise, you're never going to attract quality candidates because who would want to go through that? Who would want that looming over their head? As soon as I'm out of power, the other people are going to put me in jail. Like, no.
You automatic, like it becomes like an automatic thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. So it's terrible, terrible precedent to set. This is 100% the left's doing. And almost, I guess, what you were trying to say a minute ago, be careful what you wish for, people. Like you're ready to reap what you sow, like here, because things are not going to be good. Like the election has serious consequences now. This is every election does.
People are like loving it. They said the site crashed for donations.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. People are like, I think it's going to help them more than hurt them, honestly. Yeah. Like, and Biden's just such a bad
like
candidate.
Moderates or people who are like, okay, you know?
Yeah. You can see what's going on here.
People who weren't gonna just, oh, I can't, I was gonna, but let it convicted felon. I don't think there's a ton of people that were that. You kind of had your mind made up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so, it helps. All right, moving on.
Let's slide into another topic that I feel like this is becoming a regular theme. And believe me, it's not something I'm not out here trying to talk about female sports and Caitlin Clark and the WNBA every week. It just happens to be an interesting topic, at least personally to me, because I feel like sports is like the culture we live. We unite. We usually find common ground with a lot of people through sports. A lot of people have fond memories watching big sporting events with people. Athletes have cultural influence on people. It's been that way for a long time. So, and I'm a lifelong sports fan. So this stuff appeals to me, and that's why I feel like I keep going back to it on the show here. But I don't really care personally that the WNBA actually exists. Now, there's about 150 women that are getting paid to play basketball for a living that are fortunate enough to do that and to enjoy their life doing it. And I have no doubt that those ladies have worked their asses off. And I'm sure most of them grew up loving sports the same way like me and Juice did growing up. But this is where our culture in our country and the left and the media specifically, where they get it wrong when they're trying to identify the differences between boys and girls and men and women. These ladies that play in the WNBA, they're an anomaly. They really are. That's a small fraction of the female population that are interested in that are talented enough to compete that way, and who, care to even pay attention to it. The only reason
I just tuned out there for a bit.
The only reason that female sports are even discussed ever at this point is because either we don't watch or care enough about it, therefore we're labeled sexist and misogynistic. We don't think men should play in the female sport. Therefore we're labeled transphobic. And a few people finally pay attention to the sport, and all of a sudden we're all now racist because we only care now that there is a white female athlete in the WNBA. So we can't win in female sports. Honestly, at this point, they're just used by the left and the media as a cudgel to try and beat anybody over the head with, and they feel like it's a topic and an argument that people can't push back against because they're going to default to those labels I just told you. If you push back in any way like we do here, then we're going to be sexist and blah, 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 all those other things. So that kind of leads us to what Sonny Hostin said on The View this past week when discussing Caitlin Clark and her
I'm sure this will be great.
Give it to us.
Is there any Whoopi on it?
I think she's in there too, of course.
This is part of my point. So now, Caitlin Clark is bringing this money, these sponsorships, we hope, into the league, and other players will benefit from it. But I do think that she is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive. And unfortunately, there still is that stigma against the LGBTQ plus community. 70% of the WNBA is black. A third of the players are in the LGBTQ plus community. And we have to do something about that stigma. In this country, I think that people have a problem with basketball playing women that are lesbians. Who cares? They are great athletes.
Well, you can't tell a lesbian unless she tells you she's a lesbian. Well, it's not like you look over and go, oh, there's one. No, you don't know.
I think that might have been the dumbest thing Whoopi's ever said. It's pretty obvious.
Remember that dude who got arrested in Russia or whatever?
Exactly. Brittany Griner.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
There's clips of him shooting hoops like with no shirt on. Have you
Shirtless.
seen those?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. And not to mention, we know that they're lesbians because they can't stop talking about being lesbians.
And
You
there
guys want
wouldn't be a
to
league.
celebrate
There
them
wouldn't be a
for
league
being
if it
lesbian.
was like.
Of course. Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And
now-
dude, note also, the clock girl isn't hot or whatever. She's white.
not at
she's
all.
hot. It's like, she
Not
looks
at
like a
all.
dude.
I was gonna
That's
say
a
that.
no,
Like,
yeah.
like if she's considered the hot one in the crew.
Compared to a Griner.
Exactly. Compared to Griner, yes, she is. And you know what? I guess she's straight. So there you go. She's got that going for her.
For now.
But what are we talking about here? And like it boggles my mind because I meant to say it before the clip a minute ago too, when thinking about the type of women that seek to be professional athletes like that. I touched on them being an anomaly. They really are. And it's not because women shouldn't or can't play sports. It's fine. They can do it if they want to do it. They're an anomaly because not many women, not many little girls grow up dreaming of draining a three at the buzzer in the WNBA championship to win the game. They dream about being mommies. They dress up and they want to play house, when they're little kids. They don't grow up dreaming of being pro athletes. And the ones that do, that's a small fraction of the group. And maybe some of them do achieve their goal. But don't pretend that boys and girls are the same when it comes to that. You know, it's just totally different. And remember what I said a few minutes ago about the differences in, how I said actions speak louder than words. What kind of ads play during men's sporting events? Who is the consumer? Who are we marketing this to? It's men. Like, they want men to watch female basketball now. They don't have enough females tuning in to the WNBA to support the WNBA. And I say actions speak louder than words because they're not showing us commercials for Planned Parenthood. They're showing us commercials for Blue Chew. They're not showing wine commercials. They're showing beer commercials during sporting events because they know who the consumer is. Their actions are speaking louder than their stupid words that they feel like they have to say to try to play it safe for everybody. It's crazy. Now, Juice, you watch the WWE from time to time like I do now. I watch it, I'd say a little bit more than you.
I watch a couple a year.
Now, when we were younger, they were trying to break in a female division in wrestling, and it wasn't good at all. They were bad athletes, and they literally they would just slap in like ring girls, like the look of a ring girl from a boxing match, like just a hot girl in the ring trying to pretend they could wrestle. And that was the only way they could get us to slightly pay attention because the ladies were a little easy on the eyes. Now, fast forward to where we are now with wrestling, and I, hadn't watched for a long time. Now I watch. The female wrestlers are really good. Their matches are entertaining. They are great athletes. They really are. And they're doing an awesome job with it. But they are all still pretty easy on the eyes. Like, they're all good-looking girls. They're in shape. And you could say the same about male athletes. How many times has your aunt or your grandma or someone wanted to watch a baseball game to see the guy's ass? Like, right? You always hear them say that. So these people on the View trying to pretend like the way these ladies look shouldn't have anything to do with who's tuning into the games is absurd. They wouldn't be on the View if they weren't moderately attractive themselves, aside from Whoopi, of course.
Got like a mohawk now. Or something.
But like, in order to be on TV, you have to be somewhat good looking. Like that, their looks have helped elevate them to the positions they're in, and they're sitting there trying to tell
Definitely Sonny Hostin or whatever. because she has no brain.
No, she's horrible. But if she, it's like the lady we talked about the roast a few episodes ago, that Nikki Glazer lady. If she looked like the bridesmaid lady, McCarthy, she wouldn't have been getting praise. She wouldn't have had that opportunity. She had that opportunity because she's hot. Like, it's crazy to me. And then they want to browbeat us and try and act like, oh, well, you're just not paying attention to them because they're lesbians and they're not white. Like, F off. Like, it's not the reason. And I kind of wanted to talk about that because couldn't help but notice an ad that I just saw for a new talk show coming out featuring an actress that no one's ever heard of by the name of Busy Phillips as the host. And watch this ad and see the way they cater to it in
This was on the WNBA game?
No, it wasn't on the WNBA game, but it made me think about the type of ads that you see when you're watching sports, right? And then this ad just completely talks about being geared towards women, for women, by women. Like, why can't we say sports are for men, by men? Like, focused on men are the consumers. But, watch how they market to women with this thing.
Pause? Just applause. Okay, just applause. Okay. Woo! Yay, woo, yay! Well, first of all, who doesn't love QVC?
QVC Plus is so famous. All of my friends watch it. It's like, I've been in this business a long time, and I rarely have been able to impress people more than when I said, oh, I'm going to QVC.
A lot of times women in regular television are sort of relegated to one box. And one thing that I just love about QVC Plus is that they are committed to thinking outside of the box. Just the opportunity to have a show that is a late night show that's hosted by a woman that is for women.
It's very much us, and it's about being a woman, and it's
our
about
experience,
being our ages, and all those kinds of things. And we just don't get a lot of that. It's usually relegated to another time slot. But like, women watch TV at night. People connect with Busy because she's authentic, and I think she just is very real. And she's also like a total pro, so it's super fun to work with her because it's honestly not that hard.
It would be pretty hard to watch. That's what it looks like to me.
I might be busy when that one debuts.
I'm going to be real busy when that one is on. You catch those power pantsuits.
What is that chick next to him? I mean, her. Andy Richter, the Andy Richter of the show.
Oh, that's great. Yes, she was. That's like it's the Bizarro versions of us, I guess, huh? Right? Like that's the producer, but like really pulling the strings behind the scenes there in the power pantsuit, Richter.
They said women like 100 times.
Right? They really did. And it just frustrates me because, we get called sexist and not inclusive if we try to make something designed for men. And again, that's what sports is. Who consumes pro sports? It's 80 to 90% men that watch it. Yeah, there's some girls that are into it. Some girls will watch with people. It's a thing to do. Go to a bar and watch the game. But come on. They're not, ladies aren't really tuning into sports radio. They're not watching all the behind the scenes stuff. Like they're not the consumer. And we should be able to say that as opposed to just marketing towards men with the commercials. We should be able to also acknowledge it too. It's absurd. Now, again, before we wrap this up, in case you guys are wondering who Busy Phillips is, I did find this clip from her when I was trying to figure out who she was.
Good job.
And this was from a couple of years ago at a rally. And this one's crazy.
Here I was, sitting in Los Angeles in my beautiful office of my own late night talk show. Soon I would be driving my hybrid car to my beautiful fucking home to kiss my two beautiful and healthy children and my husband who had taken the year off to parent so I could focus on my career. And I have all of this, all of it, because I was allowed bodily autonomy at 15. I will not be shamed into being quiet. We will not be shamed into being quiet. Never again. I will never stop talking about my abortion or my periods or my experiences in childbirth, my episiotomies, my yeast infections, or my ovulation that lines up with the moon.
Oh my goodness. And yeah, that late night show she was talking about was canceled already. That thing lasted.
Did it start?
No. That was from a few years ago, that last clip. And she already has failed as a late night host on one network.
No, I know. I'm saying, did it ever launch though? Did it get how many episodes did it get?
I think that one did like a season. Like it didn't get renewed. It did like one season, did not get renewed. And now she's out there promoting a talk show on a channel that no one's ever heard of with Andy Richter. They're trying to pump her up.
QVC, we've heard of. It's the one where they sell. That's the Home Shopping Network.
That's QVC?
QVC or whatever.
QVC.
Isn't it?
I don't know what, like buy this thing here, like the My Pillow.
And they're slotting them into a slot, I think. Yeah, QVC. I think it's
on late night. That is funny.
Infomercial. It's like,
channel. Brutal.
And that one's failed, or that's a new one that hasn't gone yet?
That's a new one that hasn't gone yet. The other one, she's already failed once.
Tank. And like there's a small audience for Busy Phillips, like to begin with, or whatever. But like they immediately just cut, like, not that guys were gonna watch it, but like they're like only for women. Like, lady, your audience is already 0%, and now you're chopping that off.
Yeah. Oh, horrible. But who knows? Maybe she'll be up there trying to offer yeast infections and period cycle talk for everybody. Who knows?
Infomercials, QVC.
Yeah. Oh,
and for my
I'm
yeast
having
infection,
a yeast infection now.
I use Vagisil or whatever. Got a little too much cheese on the taco. Remember? Not me, myself, and Irene.
And
remember?
Oh man!
Nice check on Vagisil.
But dude, she's gonna have two kids that are gonna grow up and see that clip and realize that she proudly murdered their brother or sister at the age of 15. Wow. Okay, let's keep it going from there. Juice, you got a couple of clips that you either hate or think are great this week. What do you got?
2 hates, 3 greats, but let's keep it tight here. Remember, we're gonna try to keep it tight.
Yeah.
All right. Interview, like some, first clip is NYU students. Hey, what's your major or not major? What's your concentration? Which can make up like a little piece of your major, right?
Okay.
So students interviewing students. Proud of this is what my thing is. Yeah,
what's
like man on the street interview. I know what you're going.
Okay.
Like some Goodwill Hunting or something.
Yeah, Charlie.
Ready? NYU students talking about their thing.
Jacob, and my concentration is environmental science and sustainable business.
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of self.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. My concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts, performance, and written word.
Hi, my name is Karina Gomez, and my concentration is in journalism and Latin American studies, with an emphasis in human rights, collective memory, and political violence.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lee, and I studied the sociology of environmental communication.
Hi, my name is Reed, and I study music business and gender studies.
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I studied care politics with a minor in disability studies.
My name is Elliot Wright, and my concentration is art as a social mechanism.
I mean, okay.
Wow.
But let's forgive all those loans. Let's definitely forgive those loans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. bringing absolutely nothing to the table.
Those were all made up things, anyways. I think
it's crazy. Crazy.
Music and gender studies with a focus on political violence.
Dude, that one girl with the red hair should just move to Disney right now and just be the brave character all over the parks. Like, come on. You don't need to go to college for that. Oh, all right.
But yeah,
What else?
I hate that clip. A guy talking about, I don't know, whatever. You'll see. He wears some type of religious vestige.
Okay.
That's the word. But talking about how Jesus is bi or something.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
You'll love it. It's a great clip. Not a great, I was being facetious. You know?
The Bible indicates that Jesus was bisexual, saying he had a special love for John. And Jesus' last words implored his mother to regard his love, John, as his partner, their son-in-law, part of her family. Christian art shows John and Jesus physically close, embracing, cuddling, lying upon each other. James I, King of England, justified his own bisexuality with reference to Jesus being gay. Priests, bishops, philosophers and theologians have agreed.
They're hell-bent on it, right? Destroying religion, destroying it in this country and all over the world. They want to replace it with that, whatever that is. So, crazy. That's a hate, right?
The XXL.
Okay. Great job, XXL.
Or that Jules.
One of the two. There are two. Yeah. There are two #1 people.
I got a great here from Bill Maher.
Okay.
Talking to, you'll have to remind me of this lady's name, but you didn't even know she still existed, basically. But you'll see him. He, you know, it's an anti-Semitism clip, and he kind of checks her and be like, "Wait, you know, that's what you think is going on? Here you go."
Perfect.
There is an anti-Semitism afoot in this country that we haven't had in a very long time, and I never thought I'd see the day.
I tell you where it comes from. It comes from the right wing, the extreme.
No, it doesn't.
You think it's left. You think it's from the left.
Well, there is anti-Semitism on both sides. The right wing has the Jews will not replace us nonsense. Right. The left wing is even worse.
What?
That is coming down from elite colleges who see everything only through a racial lens. They are stupid. They don't know history. They think everything is about colonizers and racists and how awful America is. And America has done some bad things, but to drag Israel into this as the stand-in for everything bad thing white people ever did, this is not any more complicated to most of these college kids than the Palestinians are brown and poor, and the Israelis are rich and white, even though half of them are not rich and certainly not half not white and certainly not half rich.
Yeah.
But they think they're rich and white, so they're the colonizers and the apartheid people and the genocide people, and none of this jives with the facts.
Boom. Put her right in her place. And I don't know who that, like, I recognize
I paid it. Sandra Bernhardt.
Okay.
Her name is.
Okay. I know, like, I'm like, oh, I know who that is, but
failed late night shows or something.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she had no clue. And I love the point he made about they just simply see it as the brown, poor people versus rich, white colonizers. That's it. It's the basic way that all these idiots on the campuses, college campuses, see it. And I like that the way he put that was.
You know, how about Biden's peer?
Yep.
Money down the drain. That thing.
Oh yeah.
Already.
Oh yeah. Didn't it go washing up like miles downstream, like down the shore?
Yeah.
We called that out. We were all over that the night of the State of the Union. Remember, that's when he made that announcement. We're building a pier. Like.
Here's him, actually. Speaking of him, good segue.
Okay, perfect.
The great so far, Bill Maher and Biden. So let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
This one's been going around, but it's always worth a quick listen.
A campaign that's about negative attacks and the one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
It's great.
You didn't see that?
We can only reelect Donald Trump. Oh, that's awesome.
We can't win this reelection.
That is great.
You seen that before?
I did not see that one. That was good.
A campaign that's about negative attacks and the one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. we can only reelect Donald Trump.
We cannot win this.
All three things were wrong.
That was
we
awesome.
cannot reelect. We
that's
can't win
great.
this reelection.
You know what? I was thinking
We can
it was
only elect Donald Trump.
We cannot win this.
Like
We
that,
can
is
only
that
elect-
AI? It's not AI, but that.
I thought it was the clip of him calling himself the vice president. Like, remember that? Like recently. Oh man, crazy. All right, what else? We got another one. Is this a great or a hate to break the tie?
It's a great. Well, yeah, it's both. It doesn't break the tie, but I have
it's
it down.
Great to hate.
This one's been. I think I just came out today. I don't know when it's from, but it's getting viral the last couple of days. Guy, you know, you can probably just elect to do Zoom court at any time now. You probably don't. You know what I mean? They never made
Yeah. Instead of going
back in person.
Mm-hmm.
So have you seen this?
No.
A guy, you know, it'll be like a Zoom call, top left screen, public, his counsel, you know, his lawyer, judge, him, right?
Okay.
So just setting up that he's, you know, it's like the first thing, you know, when they maybe give you the charges or whatever the first step is in the process.
All right.
So
tight.
Check it out. Yeah, keeping it real tight.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
That is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Hello?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
That's incredible. Wow.
I cut out a bunch of awkward pauses, like while he's like still waiting there. You know, he's like,
Wait, you cut
like,
out awkward pauses?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. He was like, hello, you know?
Oh,
He's
man.
just sitting there in the Zoom.
I thought at one point he tried to raise his hand.
She's like, I'll be calling you, Mr.
Pulling
Harris.
in right now.
Are you stationary, Mr. Harris?
That was great.
You know,
Just
Kings
pull-
of Comedy, turn the music down. And then turn it back up.
Yeah. He was ready to turn it back up once he got his sentence. He was thinking he was getting let free. Like, oh, everything's good.
Pulling in right
awesome.
now. Like,
right now. Oh, great. Good job.
All
right.
I don't know why you showing me this.
That was awesome. Good for the judge, though, for jumping in on that.
Like, what are you
being
doing here? Yeah.
Like,
Report
awesome.
right now, tonight.
Yes.
Said,
Yep.
like,
That's it.
Right over here.
6 o'clock. Well, you're already driving. Drive your ass over here, pal. Oh, it's awesome. All right. Well, as we shift into our final segment, I do want to remind everybody, please subscribe to the YouTube page. We continue to try to keep it tight. I know we're bleeding past where we need to be, but please subscribe to our YouTube page. We could use all the support we can get. Share our videos, give us likes, all that good stuff. All right. Now let's shift into what we like to call our Come On, Man segment of the day. This is when we like to find a clip of somebody who's done something, said something, acted in a way where even though we're going to make fun of them here for a couple of minutes, there's not much else we can say to them except, come on, man. There it is. So we tend to pick on the fat from time to time on this program.
Don't push it, fucker.
Believe me, I don't want to be pushing it. I shouldn't really talk much. I'm a little on the pudgy side myself.
You look good, man.
Juice, you're
pudge,
always
yeah.
looking sharp over there. So we're not trying to be needlessly mean and cruel to people who are fat. I just want to say that I'm really not. My problem is when people that are really fat, large, obese, without any shame at all, no shame in their game, to the point where they try to promote themselves and their body.
And making it other people's problem.
Exactly.
And on them not having any size awareness. You know what I mean? Like when you're like, I'm sitting on you or you're sitting on me, or like in the plane thing. From
and we covered that
for
before.
Free, and then you return the other one.
That's absurd.
Like, dude, if you need 2 seats, then grab 2 seats, but don't make it everybody else's.
Exactly. You go to a theme park and you get stuck behind those motorized carts. We used to always try to determine, is it just that they're fat or are they actually physically disabled?
Yeah.
And that's absurd. We shouldn't have to think that way. That's mean. And it's not right. But like, if you're that large, fat, and obese that you can't walk around the theme park, maybe you shouldn't be at the theme park either. Like, there's other things you need to be focusing on in your life. And that kind of leads us into the person we're going to highlight from this week's Come On Man. And a part of me feels bad. I genuinely do, because this person has mental issues. They have to. But this is the video they chose to take of themselves, put up on the internet to try to gain sympathy from people when, what they're going to gain from us is ridicule. So without further ado, you want to give us the clip, Juice?
So as a fat person, I often dread medical appointments because of blatant medical fat phobia. The last OB appointment I went to, the provider blamed everything on my weight and told me that I needed to go on a medication that made me feel really terrible. This OB appointment that I just went to, I've been dreading, and the provider was amazing. She asked me what my pronouns are. She asked me about my name. She made me feel super comfortable, asked me about my trauma history so that she knew how to touch me in ways that were not harmful. She just was like great. And I was crying before getting my blood drawn because I just never have good experiences with medical providers. And so, I don't know, I just wanted to share.
Dude, you know it's gonna be a bad clip when the first couple sentences, blatant medical fat phobia. Never heard of medical fat phobia, but right, blatant fat.
Yeah, blatant medical
fat phobia. Like like they're telling you, hey, your cholesterol's high because you're fat.
Yeah. Like, blatant medical savior. They're trying to save your life here. They're trying to keep you alive and healthy. Like, I'm sorry that they're not going to indulge your delusions.
Blatant medical fat phobia. Like people saying like, okay, you're at increased risk for heart attack. Like if you're carrying an extra 2 bills. Yeah. Like that's not fat phobia.
No, not at all. Not at all. According to my BMI, I'm obese, Juice. So is that fat phobic, or is it just that's just, healthy living? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And I seriously, I couldn't help but think, like, with the pronouns, where are that is her preferred pronouns large and Marge? Like, what is it here? I don't get it.
You didn't tell me we were gonna. I would have went back and forth with you on that. Bit, but you
that would have been a good one
for that.
Yeah,
but we have to keep wrapping up anyways.
We do have to, but just absurd, totally ridiculous. No shame. And it speaks to a bigger problem going on in this world right now too. And specifically in our country is people are able to go from provider to provider until they get the answer they want. Not until they get the answer that's medically accurate. They go around and they find the doctor that's going to give them the answer they want. And that's the problem with the pharmaceuticals that people are prescribed in this country, the pharmaceutical industry in general, the addiction that people come up with, because they will find a doctor somewhere, somehow, that will write them a script.
The advertising to the people is crazy. Right?
It's nuts. It absolutely is
Don't tell
nuts.
your doctor about Vagisil or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is, come on, man, sponsored to you by Vagisil, it seems like.
Oh, man. Should be. This episode is this week.
On next week's Healthy Living.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. Juice, you got anything else to say about this lady?
I mean, I just dying at blatant medical fat phobia.
It's incredible.
Even if she just had medical fat phobia. Like blatant.
Blatant. Really hammering that in. Oh, crazy. So our properly pronounced fat centric, I guess, person out there, you have earned yourself one big fat classic.
Come on, man.
And that's our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next week to do it all again. Hopefully have a lot to jump into again for you. So thank you for having us. And
thanks for
having us.
Thank you for having us.
Hit it. Subscribe to the show. Please subscribe.
Comments.
The Right and Wrong Show is produced by Juice. Executive producer, Juice. Audio mixer is Juice. Hair by Skull Shavers. Wardrobe and makeup by Ashley Ruka. Right and Wrong song created by Juice. The Right and Wrong Show is copyright 2022 from Brian Ruka.